Daytona Beach, Florida, Christian Fittipaldi will be putting in a few hours of extra work during the final start of his racing career. With Action Express pulling Mike Conway from its No. 5 Cadillac DPI, the team will attempt to defend its Rolex 24 Hours at Daytona Overall Championship with Fittipaldi, Joao Barbosa and Filipe Albuquerque, the same trio that won last year's race. Conway encountered travel delays while trying to depart from England. With the delay, it became obvious that he could not make the trip to Daytona in time for the final practice session, team manager Gary Nelson said in a release. "We all decided that it may be best for the 5-car to race the Rolex with Christian, Joao and Filipe. We will continue to work with Mike and other events in the 2019 Endurance Championship." Fittipaldi said the change probably will affect him the most because he was planning to be in the car only twice over the course of 24 hours. Now he will be driving at least 3 stints lasting somewhere from 6 to 8 hours. Albuquerque likely will handle the largest workload at 8 to 10 hours. "We'll try to run longer stints in the evening," Fittipaldi said. "We're still debating a little bit. A lot can happen depending on the pace of the races and depending on how the conditions are and the wear on the tires. We sort of adjust according to the race. It's not carved in stone." There was a surprise farewell party Thursday night at Daytona International Speedway that put Fittipaldi, who turned 48 last week. "In a way, last night was good because now I got over it," he said. "So in my mind, I know it was official before. Now it's official. Let's just think about the race and see what we can get out of it, and that's it. So just enjoy myself, but at the same time, take it as serious as possible and try to get a 4th win. That's why we're here. We're not here to keep pound around in circles." Fittipaldi, who has 8 victories over the past 5 years in IMSA, said he'd probably be more busier than when I was driving, as he will continue as a Cadillac ambassador and test driver after retiring. At the Roar test at Daytona 3 weeks ago, he said he was happy, sad, at peace with myself. "I think that's the most important. But if you ask me, are you going to miss it? Shit, yeah. If I tell you I won't miss it, I'll be lying. I did this 38 years of my life. How can you not miss something that you did 38 years of your life? It's not humanly possible." The versatile veteran of IndyCar, NASCAR and Formula One said he hasn't planned how he will fill the void left by racing. "That's a very good question, but always in life, when one chapter closes, another one opens," he said. "Yeah, I've always known, not since beginning when I was 15 years old, but when I started understanding more about life, that I wouldn't be a race car driver until I was 90 years old. At some point, this chapter is going to close, and some other opportunities are definitely going to show up. Hello, America. It's time to go racing again." Yes, Supercross is now 3 weeks into its season, and the Chili Bowl Nationals is now effectively the Christopher Bell Invitational after the young NASCAR star won his 3rd consecutive Golden Driller last weekend. But the Rolex 24 at Daytona International Speedway is the first marquee event on the American racing calendar, an event that just happens to have international prestige. It's also the start of Daytona Speed Weeks, which culminates with NASCAR's Daytona 500 on February 17. But this is no mere opening act, just warming up the crowd for the headliner. In case you're new to this event, here are a few reasons why it stands out. Twice around the clock. Are you the kind of person that appreciates a challenge? Well, challenges don't get much bigger in motorsports than a 24-hour endurance race where drivers, crews, machines, and strategies must work together flawlessly. For those behind the wheel in the Rolex 24, the obstacles are numerous: punishing G-forces, extreme mental focus, lack of sleep, and staying on top of hydration and nutrition. Star power. Speaking of those behind the wheel, the Rolex 24 traditionally draws top drivers from other disciplines such as IndyCar, Formula One and NASCAR, to join sports car regulars from North America and around the world. As a result, the winners list is who's who of motorsports. This year's field includes a clutch of NTT IndyCar Series drivers, highlighted by five-time series champion and past Rolex 24 winner Scott Dixon. But pre-race buzz has centered on two particular interlopers: Alex Zanardi, the former kart champion making his first North American start since losing his legs in a 2001 crash, and Fernando Alonso, the two-time F1 champion looking to add another endurance triumph alongside his win with Toyota in last year's 24 Hours of Le Mans. Cool cars. If you're a gearhead, the Rolex 24 is a 200-mile-per-hour candy store. Across the four separate classes of competition, 13 of the world's premier car manufacturers are represented. The majority of those manufacturers are found in the Grand Touring classes that feature vehicles based on road-going production models. Chevy and Ford's eternal rivalry rages on in the factory-backed GT Le Mans, but the class also boasts efforts from BMW, Porsche, and Ferrari. It's even more diverse in the Pro-Am GT Daytona, where Porsche is joined by Audi, Lamborghini, Lexus, and Mercedes. As for the exotic, purpose-built Daytona prototypes, they are powered by engines from Cadillac, Acura, Mazda and Nissan. Nifty 50, this year's Rolex 24 begins the 50th anniversary season for IMSA, the sanctioning body for North American sports car racing. A select group of teams will mark the occasion at the Rolex 24 by running historic IMSA paint schemes on their machines. You may not be familiar with these looks, but it's worth discovering the history behind them. Here's an example. The Starworks Motorsports Team, GT Daytona, will carry a scheme based on Audi of America's 90 Quattro from the 1989 IMSA GTO season. Boasting sports car legends Hurley Haywood and Hans Joachim Stuck in the driver lineup, the 90 Quattro captured 7 GTO wins that season. Audi's performance led one competitor to create a "No Passing" sticker with Stuck's face on it. Stuck's response: Adol fixed to his car's rear window that dropped its pants to moon anyone Stuck put behind him. Status symbol. Last but not least, the Rolex 24 has a unique prize, a trophy you can wear. Winners get a standard cup, but what they're really after are the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona watches, which include a special engraving to commemorate their victory. A standard version of this watch retails for tens of thousands of dollars, but you can't put a price on the ones awarded at the Rolex 24. This year's Grand Marshal, five-time Rolex 24 winner Scott Pruitt, sums it up as the ultimate reward: to be presented a watch engraved with the word "winner" after 24 hours of intense racing is a moment that lives with you forever, he added. Your Rolex is a constant reminder of the perseverance and hard work that goes into succeeding at the highest level. One day after Courtney Force announced she was stepping away from drag racing, John Force Racing revealed Friday morning that Courtney's primary sponsor for the past 2 seasons, Advance Auto Parts, will move to the Top Fuel dragster of her older sister, Brittany Force, for the 2019 NHRA season. Thursday's news that Courtney Force, the youngest of 4 daughters of 16-time NHRA funny car champion John Force, was walking away from active driving competition after 7 years in a funny car rocked the NHRA world. Courtney is one of the most popular drivers on the NHRA circuit. Brittany Force, who won the 2017 NHRA Top Fuel Championship, had previously been sponsored by Monster Energy, but that relationship ended at the conclusion of the 2018 season. Brittany Force will be sporting her new Advance Auto Parts colors both at next week's NHRA annual 3-day preseason test at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park in suburban Phoenix, and officially for the first time in active competition at the season-opening NHRA Lucas Oil Winter Nationals, February 7 to 10, at Auto Club Raceway in Pomona, California. I'm really excited to start this season teaming up with Advance Auto Parts, Brittany Force said in a media release. They've been such a great partner to John Force Racing the past 2 years. They exceeded expectations when working with Courtney, building her as their brand ambassador, and I can't wait to see what we can accomplish together. Brittany Force, I'm looking forward to getting them their first win in a dragster and ultimately going after a championship. Off track, I look forward to creating new relationships and being involved with everything this great company has to offer. Brittany Force became only the second female to ever win a Top Fuel championship in NHRA history in 2017, and the first woman to do so in 35 years since Shirley Muldowney captured her third and final Top Fuel crown in 1982. The third of four daughters for John Force, Brittany Force struggled at times during the 2018 campaign, including a wild crash in last year's season-opening Winter Nationals. Brittany was uninjured in the incident. She would go on to finish fifth in the Top Fuel standings and won the NHRA Spring Nationals, her only victory of 2018 after capturing 4 wins in her championship season. Follow @Jerry Bankowski.